Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into the tragic murder of Sharon Otieno. It's a case that has it all: a high-profile politician, a secret affair, and a brutal crime that absolutely captivated an entire nation.
This whole story starts as a romance, but it spirals into a horrific crime that frankly raises some deeply unsettling questions. So, let's unpack the events that led to this awful tragedy.
To really get what went so wrong here, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. We need to meet the key people at the very center of this story.
So, who was Sharon Otieno? Well, she was a 26-year-old student at Rongo University and a mother of 3. Her friends described her as having this really bubbly, loving personality. She was pursuing a diploma, trying to build a better life for her family. Okay, so in late 2017, she starts a relationship with the governor of Migori County, Okoth Obado. And for a while, he's funding a pretty lavish lifestyle for her. We're talking parties, hotels, the whole 9 yards. But then, everything changes. In March 2018, Sharon tells him she's pregnant. And his reaction? He reportedly just cuts contact and offers her 30,000 Kenyan shillings to terminate the pregnancy. So with the communication just completely broken down, Sharon's push for financial support for herself and her unborn child, it really intensifies. It wasn't just about getting his attention anymore. This turned into a really high-stakes negotiation. And according to testimony that came out later, Sharon's first request was, well, it was a big one. A house in Nairobi valued at 25 million Kenyan shillings. And that wasn't all. She also asked for a good car, one she felt was right for a governor's wife, and on top of that, another 5 million shillings for her living expenses.
The contrast here is just wow. It's stark. On one side, you have Sharon's demands, which add up to over 30 million shillings, and on the other, the governor's counteroffer, a plot of land and a house to be built, with a total value of around 4 million. The gap between them was enormous, and it really shows you just how sour this whole relationship had become.
So this financial and emotional standoff, it all led to one final, fateful meeting. It was arranged by the governor's personal assistant, and it was set for the evening of September 3rd, 2018.
Sharon was feeling uneasy about this whole thing, so she asked a journalist, a guy named Barack Odur, to come with her. They meet the governor's PA, Michael Oyamo, and he leads them to a car. But just moments after they start driving, Oyamo gets out, and 3 other men get in. This was an abduction. Odur, sensing extreme danger, manages to do something incredible. He jumps from the moving car and escapes. But Sharon, she wasn't so lucky.
The very next day, her body was found by a local farmer in a place called Kadera Forest. Her brutal ordeal was over, but for the nation, a nightmare was just beginning.
The discovery of Sharon's body just ignited this firestorm of public outrage. It launched a massive police investigation to find whoever was responsible. The autopsy report was horrific. It revealed that Sharon had died from excessive bleeding and strangulation. She had been stabbed 8 times, and one of those wounds pierced her abdomen, tragically killing her 7-month-old unborn son. And this was the turning point in the whole investigation. A DNA test proved with 99.9% certainty that Governor Obado was in fact the biological father of Sharon's baby. This directly linked him to her, no matter what denials might have come. After that, the arrest came pretty fast. Michael Oyamo, the PA who set up that final meeting, he was taken into custody first. Then others in the governor's circle followed. And finally, on September 21st, Governor Obado himself was arrested and charged in connection with the murder. All right, let's shift gears and look at the trial itself. Let's see how the prosecution tried to build its case against the governor and his associates. The evidence that came out in court, it really paints a complex picture. The prosecution alleged that Michael Oyamo used a fake SIM card to contact Sharon and even faked medical records to create an alibi. For the clerk, Caspa Labiero, the connection was very direct. The taxi used in the abduction, it allegedly belonged to his wife. And for Governor Obado, while beyond admitting to the affair, phone records supposedly showed communication between him and the other suspects right around the time of the murder. But even with all these connections, this case is not a slam dunk. The prosecution is facing a really significant hurdle. So the crucial point is this: proving a motive is one thing, But the prosecution's main challenge, their biggest mountain to climb, is proving beyond a reasonable doubt that Governor Roboto actually ordered, planned, or paid for this killing. The entire case could hinge on making that direct link stick.
And there's another massive hole in this investigation. Remember those 3 men who got into the car? The ones who actually abducted Sharon and carried out the murder? They have never been identified or caught. The actual killers are still out there, at large.
The trial is still ongoing, but with the main suspects pleading not guilty and the actual killers still missing, the ultimate question really hangs in the air. For the family of Sharon Otieno and her unborn son, and for an entire nation that has followed every single twist and turn of this case, the wait for justice continues.